day. I am Karen Augusto Cabisas, your first presenter for this moment. Today, we will discussing about implementing strategies which will be focused on marketing, finance and accounting, R&D, and MIS issues, with special topics about market segmentation, market positioning, evaluating the worth of a business, determining to what extent debt or stock should be used as a source of capital, developing projected financial statements, constructing R&D outside the firm, and creating information support system. Here comes the learning outcomes for this topic. First, explain market segmentation and product positioning as strategy implementations tool. Second, illustrate procedures for determining the worth of a business. Third, explain why projected financial statements analysis is essential strategy implementation tool. Fourth, evaluate the attractiveness of debt versus stock as a source of capital of implement strategies. Fifth, discuss the nature and role of research and development in strategy implementation. And lastly, explain how management information systems can determine the success of strategy implementation efforts.
The nature of strategy implementations. Strategy implementation is the process of allocating resources to support a chosen strategy. This process includes the various management activities that are necessary to put strategy in motion, institute strategy controls that monitor objectives of the organizations. Strategy is the blend of internal and external factors. Strategy implementation is the process of turning plans into actions to reach desired outcomes. Essentially, it's the art of getting stuff done. The success of every organization rests on its capacity. Strategic management is both an art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that facilitates an organization to accomplish its objectives. The purpose of strategic management is to use and create new and different opportunities for the future. The key element in the strategy implementation process in the business includes organizations. For successful implementation, you have to make sure that your strategy matches the type of organizations. Second is planning. Implementation of strategy involves a series of activities. The next one is the resources, communicating, and then the monitoring.
Hello everyone! For this video, we will talk about the current marketing issues. Current marketing issues, countless marketing variables affect the success or failures of strategy implementation, are mostly centered on the issues of marketing strategy in any given business, especially when the issues in marketing are not properly recognized, leading to a problem solutions. With this in mind, identifying marketing problems and solutions can be your best shot to salvage the company in an ethical manner. And here are the examples of marketing decisions that may require policies are as follows. One is to use exclusive dealerships or multiple channels of distribution. Two, to use heavy light or no TV advertising. 3. To limit or not the share of business done with a single customer. And 4. To be a price leader or a price follower. 5. To be offer a complete or limited warranty. And 6. To reward salespeople based on straight commissions or a combination salary commission. Advertise online or not. A marketing issue of increasing concern to consumers today is the extent to which companies can track individuals' movements on the internet and even be able to identify an individual by name and email address. Marketing is done through advertising media, personal selling, sales development, and public relation. It is a way communication between the buyer and seller. New principles of marketing. Customer trust each other opinions more than a company's marketing pitch and more they talk freely. the more the firm can learn how to improve its product, services, and marketing. Marketers today monitor blogs daily to determine, evaluate, and influence. Improve its product, services, and marketing. Marketers today monitor blogs daily to determine, evaluate, and influence. Advertising media. In any paid form or use of media for the non-personal presentations of a product or services to a group by identified sponsor. A first example is television viewers are passive viewers of ads, whereas internet users take an active role in choosing what to look at. So, customers on the internet are toppers of marketers. And here the example of advertising. Advertising through newspaper, television, radio, email, and other forms of media. Selections of the right media is important to consider the selections of the merchandise for promotion. Purpose-based marketing. There is need to build trust and emotional connections to the customers in order to differentiate your products or services. Stengel acknowledged that ads must promote price, but says ads must also show the intrinsic value of the product or service to be cost effective.
Lesson 3. Market Segmentation. Market segmentation is widely used in implementing strategies, especially for small and specialized firms. It is defined as the subdividing of a market into distinct subsets of customers according to needs and buying habits. Market segmentation is an important variable in strategy implementation for at least three major reasons. Number 1, strategies such as market development, product development, market penetration, and diversification require increased sales through new market and products. To implement these strategies successfully, new or improved market segmentation approaches required. Number 2, market segmentation allows a firm to operate with limited resources because mass production, mass distribution, and mass advertising are not required. Number 3, market segmentation enables a small firm to compete successfully with a large firm by maximizing per unit profits and per segment sales. Does the internet make market segmentation easier? Yes. The segment of people who marketers want to reach online are much more precisely defined than the segments of people reached through traditional forms of media, such as television, radio, and magazines. Example: Corpesa.com is widely visited by Hispanic marketers aiming to reach college students who are notoriously difficult to reach via traditional media. Focus on sites such as collegeclad.com and studentadvantage.com. The gay and lesbian population, which is estimated to comprise about 5% of the U.S. population, has always been difficult to reach via traditional media but now can be focused on a site such as gay.com. Marketers can reach persons interested in specific topics such as travel or fishing by placing banners on related websites.
Lesson 4. Product Positioning. Identifying the target customers to focus marketing efforts on sets the stage for deciding how to meet the needs and wants of particular customers groups. Product positioning is widely used for this purpose, and it entails developing schematic representation that reflect how your products or services compare to competitors and dimensions most important to the success in the industry. This means product positioning is an important element of marketing plan. Product positioning is the process marketers use to determine how to the best communicate their products attribute to their target customers based on customers' needs, competitive pressures, available communication, and channels carefully crafted key messages. Steps are required in product positioning. Number one is select key criteria that effectively differentiate products or services in industry. This means product differentiation is marketing strategy to design to distinguish a company's products or services for the competitions. Successful product differentiation involves identifying, communicating the unique qualities of a product or company while highlighting the distinct differences between the product or company and its competitors. Product differentiation goes hand in hand with developing strong value position so that a product or services is attractive to a target market or audience. Next is number 2. Diagram to dimensional product positioning map with specified criteria on each axis. This means a product positioning map is a two-dimensional chart with horizontal and vertical axes that represent attributes. The attributes might include quality, price, reliability, size, features, packaging, performance, safety, or other positioning comparison criteria. Next is number 3. Plot major competitors, products, or services in the resultant 4-quadrant matrix. The Grand Strategy Matrix has become a popular tool for formulating feasible strategies along with the SWOT analysis, SPACE matrix, BCG matrix, and IE matrix. Number 4. Identify areas in the positioning where the company's product or services could be most competitive in the given target market. Look for vacant areas or niches. This means marketers use the positioning process to identify the distinctive place they want to product or service to hold in the minds of a target segment. Number 5. Develop marketing plan to position the company's product or services appropriately. This means the marketing plan will help determine who the target market is, how best to reach them, and what price point the product or service should be sold, and how the company will measure its efforts. There are some rules for using product positioning as a strategy implementation tool are the following. Number 1 is look for the whole or vacant niche. Adopting a niche marketing strategy is a great way for businesses of all sizes to develop a closer relationship with their customers. Number 2, don't serve two segments with the same strategy. This means a business should never target more than one segment in a market. Each target market requires a unique marketing mix that responds to the differences among the target markets. The last one is don't position yourself in the middle of the map. This means with your map in hand, look for areas where there are fewer competitors. These are the spaces where you are most likely to be successful creating your own niche. Consider where your competitive advantages would help you fit well into these gaps. This will direct you to the strongest positioning opportunities for your product, service, or brand.
Lesson 5. Finance accounting issues. Examples of decisions that may require finance accounting policies. Number 1. To raise capital with short-term debt, long-term debt, preferred stock, or common stock. Number 2. To lease or buy fixed assets. And number 3. To determine an appropriate dividend payout ratio. Number 4. To use LIFO, last in, first out. FIFO means first in, first out. or market value accounting approach. And number 5, to extend the time of accounts receivable. Number 6, to establish a certain percentage discount on accountants within a specified period of time. 7, to determine the amount of cash that should be kept on hand. Acquiring capital to implement strategies. Besides net profit from operations and the sales of assets, two basic sources of capital for an organization are debt and equity. Earning per share, earning before interest and taxes analysis, is the most widely used technique for determining whether debt stock is a combination of debt and stock is the best alternative for raising capital to implement strategies. This technique involves an examination of the impact that debt versus stock financing has earnings per share under various assumptions as to EBIT. Theoretically, an enterprise should have enough debt in its capital structure to boost its return on investment by applying debt to products and projects earning more than the cost of the debt. In low earning periods, too much debt in the capital structure of an organization can endanger stockholders' returns and jeopardize company survival. Fixed debt obligations generally must be met regardless of circumstances. Some special concerns with stock issuance are dilution of ownership, effects on stock price, and the need to share future earnings with all new shareholders. New source of funding. Credit unions were not involved in the subprime loan market, so many of them are flush with cash and are making loans, especially to small businesses. Deposit to credit were also up when many investors abandoned the stock market. Projected financial statements. Projected financial statements analysis a central strategy implementation techniques because it allows an organization to examine the expected results of various actions and approaches. This type of analysis can be used to forecast the impact of various implementations and decisions.
Financial budgets are documents that details how funds be obtained and spent for a specified period of time. Financial budgets can be viewed as the planned allocation of a firm's sources based on forecast of the future. Financial budgeting is a method for sacrificing what must be done to complete a strategy implementation successfully. Evaluating the worth of a business, it is central to strategy implementation because integrative, intensive, and diversification strategies are often implemented by acquiring open firms to establish the financial worth or cash values of a business. To successfully implement it, the proprietor or family, firms owned by several individuals assure profits as well as liabilities of the firm according to a specified formula that varies by the relative contribution, the potential cost of each partner, a single entity owned by all shareholders. What a firm earns. Earning refers to the income that an individual or organization gains during a certain period. They can be found on the company's income statement and are used to measure the profitability of the company. Market segmentation and product positioning rank as marketing most important contribution to strategic management. Strategic management. Market segmentation can be defined as the subdividing of a market into distinct subsets of customers according to needs and buying habits. Deciding whether to go public. Going public means selling off a percentage of your company to others in order to raise capital. Consequently, intuities
The summarize of implementing strategy. Making sure to support the implementations, we have the people, resources, structure, systems, and culture. People, the right people include those folks with required competency and skills that are needed to support plan, meaning to expand employee skills through training, recruitment, or new competency required by the strategic plan. Resources. Resources through costs can include a time commitment from a staff achieve a goal, meaning clear identification of expenses associated with a tactic. Structure. Set structures of managements and appropriate lines of authority and have clear, open lines of communications with employees. Systems. Both managements and technologies, systems help track the progress of the plan to make it faster to adapt to changes. And also the culture. Culture create an environment that connects employees to the organization's missions and that makes them feel comfortable. The importance to implementing a strategy is about identification and description of strategy that managers can carry, so as to achieve better performance and competitive advantage for the organization. It must be focused of every person's in that organization depends the leader that create, monitor, and reward to focus as it expressed. Again, we are the Group 1. Thank you for listening.